guys. Well, I'm alive. Woo! And I'm post-op now. Apologies for the Teletubbies noise in the background. Got the little one at home, Harry. Oh yeah, and I got pink hair as well. Look at me, I'm all crazy. So I was just after the operation. Okay, let me just clarify. It's 7 days. No, it's not. Hold on. I had it on Monday and it's Sunday. So it's like 6 days after the operation. Okay, so I had it on Monday morning. I don't want to scare any of you, but for everybody who's saying, oh, it's nothing, it isn't. It's like, it's major surgery and you feel flipping awful afterwards, to be fair. I was freaking out beforehand. I didn't have an actual panic attack, but I asked if I could take a mild kind of panic med in the morning of the operation. I didn't sleep very well the night before in the hospital, as you wouldn't. And I just kept chatting away to the people in the theatre. I was like, oh, this is like Jägermeister, and talking absolute shit as you do. And so I kind of talked my way through it. I tried breathing. I had a little bit of medication, and I managed to get in the theatre. But I was, you're still awake when they strap your arms down to these things, and they stick your legs in these things, and you can see all the instruments and everything. So it's scary. It is a bit scary. So be prepared for that. And if you think you might panic or freak out, take something for it and ask somebody, okay? Because it's not nothing. It is still surgery. Do you know what the weirdest thing was? Going in the lift, because I freak out with lifts, but I was just, I counted and got there and everything. I feel like I've overcome quite a big obstacle, actually. Okay, so Monday I went in for my operation at 10 o'clock. God knows, I mean, I come round about, it was a 2-hour operation or 90 minutes or something. I think it took a bit longer than usual. The first thing I knew, it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon anyway. I was in recovery, or in intensive care or whatever. Mouth really dry, very dizzy, kind of just out of it. I was on some kind of morphine. I didn't have actually too much pain in my stomach, apart from the gas pains they talk about, but it wasn't unbearable. It's just achy. It's like a achy kind of feeling. The worst thing was just being out of it, and you can't drink water, and your mouth is so dry, and you have these horrible lemon swab things which don't do anything really, just make you feel even more sick. It's horrible. I just kept thinking, right, let's keep going. As soon as I was able, I did what everybody says, and I walked around a bit. I don't know if it helped or not. Probably did. The nurse seemed to be very happy that I was walking around. You can gargle with water and spit it out, and I found that helped more than the swabs. Right, so then they took me back up to the ward. It was about 7 o'clock, and I was still really out of it. I hadn't like texted anyone to say I was alive or anything. I couldn't go on Facebook or anything. God, I was like, and that night, I slept with the help of sort of opium-based painkillers, like Ketogan, it's called here. So say like morphine, basically. And it was just like really trippy kind of night and a half. The next day, I was finally allowed to drink some water. That was like, woohoo! I had to drink it with a teaspoon out of a cup, and it had to take 3 hours to drink a cup of water. And that, it just, psychologically, it's like, oh my God, what have I done? So the second night after the operation was my worst night. I was like depressed, anxious. Nobody could come and see me on that first day of the operation, so I didn't have any visitors. My kids came to see me and my husband on the Tuesday, the next day. And I was all right when I saw them. That was fine. It's just, when they left, and then I was alone in the hospital, and I'm all like, couldn't eat really anything. I couldn't eat anything. Still water. And it hits you. And I had a very low, sort of depressed night that night. But I slept better because they gave me some tablets to sleep. I nearly had a panic attack that night, but they gave me some anti-anxiety meds. I found that I could already lie on my side. Nobody told me I couldn't, so I was just like, I don't sleep on my back, and I just can't sleep on my back. So if you're lying there on your back going, I can't sleep, just try and lie on your side with some pillows. It doesn't matter. You're not going to damage anything too bad, but just being very gentle. I even now, and this is day like 6, I'm sleeping on my tummy in the fetal position like I normally do, just with a few pillows and just kind of going on gently. I haven't really had any pain from my incisions. Oh, one I had to tell you is I had some complications in the surgery. I don't really understand what it was, but I think it was some kind of leak. So they had to put a drain in me. Oh, I'll just show you. Wait, oh, mine's my boobies. Try and show you without the boobage. this one here was where the drain was, and this is separate from like the normal operation. Most people just have these scars. So I had this drain because there was some kind of leak. I think that's why the operation hit me a bit harder, so you might find it's easier. But this drain bit really hurt, and oh god, and that's where I found pain from, also from the incision, just from having that tube sort of right inside my guts and everything. And it was just itchy and painful, and the gas seemed to accumulate there. It seems to be on the left hand side where you get most of the pain. But yeah, walking around was good. I was burping. I was showed some breathing exercises by the physiotherapist, so ask for them to help you to do that. And we had a tube we had to blow in really hard, at least once an hour for about 20 times. We had to do like a thing to try and get this phlegm up from your throat, and like a kind of motion. So there are all these breathing exercises that I'm not sure if you've been told about, but you can try them or ask about them if you're going to have this op. So yeah, this drain thing was the bit where it was a bit uncomfortable, but even now I'm sleeping on that side. I don't think I've done any damage. Here's me talking 6 days after surgery. But I'm a bit of a rebel, and what I wanted to talk about today is I was so happy once I got home, back to my boys and back to my normal bed and like house and everything. It made me feel psychologically a lot better, even though I needed to pee and had some bad diarrhea. First, like on my way home from the hospital, I had to stop and go and have a shit in the shop, not on the floor. Yeah, because the first thing they gave me to eat at the hospital was called Feel. It's like sour milk, basically, sour milk yogurt. And people in Sweden eat it all the time since when they're kids. I've never really eaten it, and it didn't sit well with me. They give you sort of weird soup, which I didn't like the taste of, and it was a bit weird. And I'm meant to be on liquids for 8 days, right? Including protein shakes, which I'm fine with because I've done Herbalife before and stuff like that. So when I got home, I was meant to be on liquids for 8 days, and I would be on like day 3 of it or something now. But when I got home, and I was still having this really bad diarrhea every time I ate this horrible Feel, or if this horrible cold blueberry soup. Sorry, Swedish people, you probably like this, but I'm not used to the flavour. Nyponsoppa, just weird flavours and stuff. My body's not used to it anyway. So I was all right with the liquids being sort of like tea and soups and stuff like that, but I couldn't handle any of the other stuff. And it was really getting like sort of depressing. I was really dehydrated, and even though I was trying to drink enough water, and just mentally it was like doing my head in. And what I was noticing in all these forums is even within Sweden, some people are told they should try normal food from day one and chew it really thoroughly and take the time. Obviously, the same rules apply. Tiny portions, chewing it properly and seeing how it goes. But then some people are told they have to do liquids for 3 weeks and then puree for 4 weeks. Literally, it changes from place to place. America, UK, Sweden. And what I was thinking was, well, everybody's body is different. Everybody's dietist is telling them something different. And not everybody's dietist thing fits every person, so surely you should pick the thing that fits you rather than just going blindly by this thing, even if it's not working and depressing you. Some people have said the liquid diet is more of a psychological thing, so that you obviously going to lose a shitload of weight if you're just drinking fluids, and it gives you that psychological boost. But for me, the process of doing it was so bad, and physical symptoms like the diarrhea and the headaches and the fuzziness and the dizziness does not equate. I'm not bothered about losing the weight that fast. I just want to feel normal and have energy. And I've got 2 kids, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. So I made the decision yesterday just to try a little bit of what it's blood pudding, it's called. It's another Swedish thing, but it's basically like, it sounds weird, doesn't it? It's a black it's just basically blood. This sounds weird. A black pudding, maybe you might sound familiar with it. It's basically like got lots of iron in it, and I just had a tiny little slice, like a meat product basically, no fat or anything. And chewed it, and it was fine, and I felt a lot better. And then after that, in the dinner time, I decided to have some. It's only meant to be day 3 of my liquids. I'm meant to sit there with, I don't know, thin soup or something. But I thought I'd have the same as everyone else. So I've mashed up pureed mashed potato, pureed tinned peas, and little meatballs, mini meatballs in this like little sauce. I had 2 mini meatballs in some sauce, a little bit of pureed mashed potato, and some mushy peas. And the kids had big portions, and my husband had some, and I felt just like a bit more normal. I was part of the family. I ate it. It took me half an hour to eat, like it's meant to. She took it really, really easily, and I just feel so much better today. I had a poached egg this morning. You know, I'm sort of excited about all these new recipes I can try. I know I can only eat a tiny little bit. But basically, yes, I'm being a rebel, be a bit controversial. Everyone's going to say you should stick to your dietist plan, and you should if you're feeling okay on it. But I think if it's affecting you badly, especially my situation's a bit weird because I'm not from this sort of culture, this food culture either, so I'm just not used to the taste of things. Anyway, you might be interested to know that since the operation, despite eating normal foods, I've lost 11 pounds. I don't know if you can tell. I can't tell anything. I don't want it to go this quickly because I am worried about the loose skin and everything. But it's not mean. I mean, starting to eat these normal foods has not adversely affected me. If anything, it's probably helping my body to heal and feel better. So, come on then, hit me with all the negative comments and everything if you want. I'm just doing this. I'm not advising anybody else to do it. And what you could even do if you're feeling ill, you can just ring them and say, look, can I try this? Should I do this? Blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying, for me, I've decided to start straight away. I'm going to have my protein shakes still, and thin soups as well, and lots and lots and lots of water, because when I don't have my water, that's when I feel it. A weird thing is at night time, because you're in sleep for like 8 hours, not drinking any water. I've had to take up 1.5 litres of water with me every night. Because I wake up in the night sort of delirious with dehydration, which is weird because it's a bit annoying because you get less sleep because you're getting up and having a pee, but at least I know that my body is getting all that water. When you're in hospital, you'll have a drip, so it's so important to keep getting as much water as you can into your body. So I'm 6 days out now, lost 11 pounds, and feeling much better now that I've tried to eat normal foods. When I say normal, I'm not ever going to eat hamburgers and pizzas or anything. Just low fat, low sugar, healthy, organic, tiny portions of basically pureed or mushy food. I'm getting sunlight in my eyes. So yeah, I'll keep you. This is my first post-op video. I'll probably title it wrong now. And but I'd like to hear if anybody else kind of went off their plan a little bit, because I feel like I can't be the only rebel in the whole world. But you feel under so much pressure to do what everyone tells you, but I don't, as you can see. So yeah, and I'll speak to you, soon if I have any. I'm not saying everything's going to go perfectly. I'm probably going to have a horrendous, bad incident or something. But it's a learning process. At the moment, I'm feeling okay and not too much pain, and looking forward to my new life.